Hey guys, what's the crack? Hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back to my channel and doing something different today. Usually I'm reacting to trailers and funny things, but today I'm going to be talking about the WWE Royal Rumble. So, uh, basically last night I sat and watched the WWE Royal Rumble and I actually did reactions to the Rumble matches. And I was going to upload them today, but when I went to check them, because went to sleep last night after the event had ended and the post media scrum of the wrestlers, talk to the media and everything. So went and checked it today, and for some reason the blooming sound did not record on the video, so it's basically just me sitting there watching the rumble for well, both rumbles for like over an hour each, and just complete sound. So I'm basically just complete mute talking for each thing. So what was an absolute waste of time. I mean, anyway, and realistically, there's no point in me rewatching it because it's not a genuine reaction. Live to the thing. So, because we had a few returns, we had some funny moments in the rumbles, and some good action as well. So, what I'll actually do is I'm going to talk about the event itself as a whole instead of just talking about the two rumble matches. So, overall, I thought it was good. Not the best rumble event over the years. Like, I've watched wrestling since late 1999. Like, my first well, as they were called back then, pay-per-views was Survivor Series 99, whenever Austin got run over. That famous scene with JR hitting the car, hitting Austin, JR going nuts and everything, and then Big Show replacing Austin in Triple Threat. So from that, like, I watched, I think it was the Raw's War before that event. It was the week before that, and like I was just scrolling through the channels and came across this, live Raw is WWF, Raw is War. And I was like, the fuck is that, Raw's War? Is this what everybody's talking about? Because at the time I had no clue of what wrestling was, so from that one show I was hooked. So that was November 99. And then Royal Rumble 2000 was my very first Royal Rumble I watched, which was awesome. You had the Hardys and Dudleys in a table match. You had the Rumble, The Rock winning. You had New Age Outlaws versus the APA, I think. I'm sure it was, yeah. APA. Yeah, because it was, yeah, because X-Pac came in, cost them the match. But yeah, so anyway, getting back to the present. So, very good event. We started off with the Women's Rumble. So what I'll do is I'll talk about the other two matches before I go into the Rumbles themselves. The Logan Paul Kevin Owens match I thought was very solid. Logan Paul, where you like him or you hate him, he's good in the ring. The matches he puts on and the performances, he belongs in the ring. It's not like, he goes into those matches like you say, sometimes like, a celebrity or something comes in and the professional wrestler has to carry them. He trains and he works hard and he goes in there and he belongs. And last night he put on a great freaking show. Some great spots, some great moves, and actually, it was a great finish because I thought the way the finish happened, where Logan's guy was getting kicked out, and then Theory and Waller came down, and Theory ended up giving the brass knucks to thing. I thought, oh, here we go. The referee's distracted with that guy getting tossed out. Somebody else is going to hand him. But then the fact that Owens got the brass knucks off him and then used him. I was like, oh shit, is he actually going to, is it going to drop the title here? But then the referee at the last second catching him and then disqualifying Owens. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work out, if it's going to be a rematch or what they have planned for the title going forward. I don't think they'll have it defended in a chamber match in Australia, because that's the next event. So it could just be like another match between Logan Paul and Kevin Owens, either on SmackDown or possibly the chamber, and then some type of stipulation on it. I'd be curious to see if they actually, drop the title from Logan Paul, or if he keeps it for a while, maybe until Rey Mysterio returns and gets his rematch. So I thought that was very solid. The Fatal 4-Way, or 4-Way dance, whatever you want to call it, I thought it was very good. My initial thought, like whenever this match was first announced, I thought they were going to try something different. Obviously, with the whole build up to WrestleMania, there's like questions of what's going to happen. Is Roman going to go into WrestleMania as a champion? Is Roman going to face The Rock? Is Roman going to face Cody? Is Roman going to drop the title before WrestleMania? Is Roman going to face The Rock before WrestleMania? Is Roman going to face Cody before WrestleMania? So I was curious. Like, my initial thought was maybe they'll have something happen where one of the participants gets taken out beforehand, like say LA Knight gets taken out by Solo and Jimmy, and then Paul Heyman's gloating about, oh well, that's one down, it's only a triple threat now, but Nick Aldis says, okay, hold on, no, there's got to be a fatal 4-way, I'm going to find someone, I'm going to find a replacement, this will stay, and then Cody comes out as a replacement and ends up winning the match, not pinning Roman, but like pinning either Orton or Styles, and then that would be him going into WrestleMania as a champion, and then they could transition to Roman and The Rock, but obviously they did it differently, so we'll see how that works out. But it's a very good match, and again, at one moment they had me caught off guard because Orton, I think, hit the RKO on Roman, and you actually thought the referee had hit the 3 count, but he got pulled out of the ring by Solo. So I know that drives people mad. Like I always see online, is fucking just every bloody time Roman doesn't win a match by himself, there's always interference. But that's always the way with the heels. I mean, Triple H had it with Evolution and DX, and the NWO had it with others running for Hogan, and Edge had it with La Familia. You always have the heel, that's how it works. It doesn't work with the face. Like I've seen people say, maybe what they should do is have Cody beat Roman at WrestleMania, and have The Rock help him win. But I don't think it works for the face to have somebody help them win. Even last year, when Cody was battling Roman, and then the Usos got involved, and then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn came out, and I can't remember, did one of them hit Roman with a finisher or something, but whatever it was, I was like, oh, they should have just left this behind, because it sort of, you had a great match, and then you're transitioning to having the babyface need help to overcome, instead of just having it be, which obviously what if they had Cody win last year, but they didn't have him, so we'll see what they do this year. But yeah, it was a very good match, and at one point, like I thought, it was whenever it was the referee got knocked out, the referee was distracted, and Solo had taken out Orton and LA Knight and piled LA Knight on top of Orton, and then he went to look for AJ. So they're like, if the referee sees this, he can tactically, count the pin because he's covering. But then I realized that both their shoulders were down, so it would have been just a draw anyway. So, a solid match. Obviously, it was a good finish. Orton gets taken out. Roman knocks LA Knight into the ropes to knock AJ off the ropes, and then hits AJ 1, 2, 3. So I'm curious what they're gonna do with Roman. There's a lot of ways they could do it. You could have Roman Cody 2, Roman The Rock. There's people I've seen people say maybe Roman's gonna battle both nights of WrestleMania, once against Cody and once against The Rock. I don't know if that's the best thing to do. I think it'd be it sort of takes away the excitement in a way, if that makes sense, because like say they had Roman versus The Rock on night 1 and Roman wins, so it's like, all right, well, Roman's definitely losing tonight, night 2, because it's the second time against Cody, so he's definitely going to lose. I think they definitely shot themselves in the foot having Cody face Roman last year. If they had The Rock versus Roman, in Hollywood, and had that there, and then had Cody face somebody else, both then build up to this year. Roman defeats The Rock, Cody gets his win at Mania, and then build it up. Cody wins the Royal Rumble, and then there you go. You've got Cody versus Roman. Is Cody going to win, or is Roman? The fact that Roman's already beaten Cody, it takes away the surprise now, because you're almost guaranteeing that Cody's going to win this time. I mean, I'll be very shocked. I know I'm jumping ahead on the Rumble matches, but I'd be very shocked if Cody faces Roman at Mania again and doesn't win. Like, I know, like, they've mentioned a few times about the record that Roman's going on, and I think even last night Michael Cole mentioned Hogan's record, but I can't see them going that long, because at this point people are getting fucking sick and tired of Roman as champion, which is stupid, because when you look at Hogan's record, he had it for that so long. Obviously, it was different back then compared to now, but I think if the plan was for Roman to beat Hogan's record, I think late August, September, that he would have to hold that to, and I don't see that happening, because even then, when do you have him drop it? Because say Roman did retain at WrestleMania again, because God forbid, because I think even that would go down. I think I would, if Cody faced Roman at WrestleMania, and lost a second time, I think people will be just like, what the fuck are they doing with Cody? Like, what was the point? You know, wasting 2 years of building up, you know. But if they did decide, right, we're going to have Roman is going to break Hogan's record, because they did it with the Usos. The Usos had the tag titles, and you know that was the thing to keep people saying, you know, are they going to lose the titles before this record gets broken, or are they going to surpass it? And they did surpass it. So I don't know, but again, if that is what late August, September, I think he would need to hold on to that, which means you're surpassing SummerSlam, and unless you had him drop the title at a event between SummerSlam and Survivor Series, then he's going to hold on to the title until, was it November or the following year? That's what, 2025 then. So I think more than likely it is going to be Cody versus Roman, and Roman drops the title. But like I said, I think they shot themselves in the foot having Roman versus Cody both years. You know, if there was a plan for them to do Roman versus The Rock, they probably could have done it last year and then built up to Cody versus Roman for the first time this year. Cody beats Roman. That's it. You know, as Reigns done. No pun intended. How The Rock comes in yet, I don't know, unless I seen a suggestion online, which could be possible because they did it with Rock and Cena, is if they have Roman battle Cody at Mania, and then afterwards they build up to The Rock versus Roman at next year's Mania, which means they build it up for a year like they did with Rock and Cena, instead of just having it there and then. They build it up, book the match, and, you know, prepared for it. So they could do that. We'll just have to wait and see. With WWE, it's very hard to predict how they're going to, you know, play it out. Everybody thought that Cody was going to win. You know, it was like, it was written the way they played it out. Cody, you know, he fought like hell in the cell match with Rollins with a torn pec, goes through all the surgery, the rehab, comes back at Rumble, wins the Rumble, is going to WrestleMania, he's going to do it, he's going to win the title, he's going to do it for Dusty, he's going to thing, and boom, Roman retains, and it's just like, where the hell do we go from here? So, even though, like, if Cody wins at Mania, even though it'll be special, there is, at the same time, there is a bit of magic gone from it, because you're almost expecting it to happen this time. You know, last year you were hoping, but you didn't know. This year, it's like, if they don't fucking do it, you know, it's like John Cena versus, you know, RVD and at the ECW One Night Stand. It's like, if they don't fucking do it, we're gonna be right, so they better do it. Or else it'll just be a waste of a build up, because where does Cody go from then? If Cody lost at Mania 2 years in a row, that's it. You know, there's nothing that you can do with him. All you can say is say, all right, well, Cody may go for the world title, and, you know, as much as I like having the world title back, you know, it's on Raw, it just doesn't have much meaning, because Roman's the one that's been undefeated. He's been the one that's beaten every competitor, you know. So this title isn't because, you know, oh, this title the Undisputed title's been split up and it's staying on SmackDown, this title's going to Raw. This title's been created because Roman can't be beat and because they want to have a champion to defend on Raw. So I say I'm curious what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. But anyway, like I said, that was the Fatal 4. So the Women's Royal Rumble, which kicked off the event, I thought it was very good. I actually thought the Women's Rumble was better than the men's. We got a few surprises in that Rumble. We had Naomi return. And as soon as Naomi came out, I immediately expected that Sasha was going to return because they walked out together. So I was expecting at some point that maybe, because Naomi stayed in the Rumble for a long time, so the longer she stayed in, I was expecting she's going to be in trouble, and then Sasha's going to come out and she'll save her, and it'll be them reuniting because they walked out together. But we had Naomi come out, and we had, I forget her name, the TNA Knockout Champion appeared. Because I didn't realize who she was, and I thought it was like somebody from NXT or developmental was this thing. But then whenever I think it was Michael Cole mentioned, oh, she's the TNA Knockouts champion, and she had pinned Naomi to win the title. So it was good to see. Obviously, we had Mickie James appear in the Rumble last year as the Impact champion, but obviously Mickie was more sort of known in WWE. She had been there for many years, so it was cool to see, somebody from TNA who had no affiliation with WWE appearing, and it'd be great to see more of that in the future. I don't know, I don't think you're ever going to see AEW talent crossing over. I think that might be a bridge too far, but it'd be a great thing to see. Maybe they could do something at WrestleMania, where some, the TNA stars compete, or, in the future. I mean, you could build up to, like an actual, like an event of, WWE versus TNA or Survivor Series, have team, and see how that works, team from NXT versus team TNA, or team, the women's, knockouts versus something like that. So that could be cool. But yeah, R-Truth coming out was great. That moment whenever he came running down during Valhalla's entrance, I was expecting, because Jax was standing in the ring, I thought he was going to come out and get revenge on her for her attacking him whenever she made her entrance in the men's Rumble. But he is a legend. He's comical, not in a stupid way where you're saying, why do they even have this? It's comical and you enjoy it and you want to see more of it. And I thought it was very good. He's coming in, looking around and going, where's the man? And he's getting out, he got thrown out of the ring, and then he's like arguing with Adam Pearce about saying, there's women in there. He was very good. I think I've seen a clip as well where it was a WWE exclusive where he went backstage and then he was arguing with Adam Pearce saying, you told me that I could enter the Rumble last night, and he said, no, that was Nick Aldis. I'm Adam Pearce. He's like, Well, but he says, not the women's rumble. And he's like, I need a drink. But I thought that was very good. And Bayley, obviously, she had damage control. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen. At one point, I was expecting, I think it was when Asuka entered the ring, they were sort of alluding that she wasn't being very friendly with Bayley, and I was like, oh frick, is she going to end up chucking Bayley out of the ring whenever her back's turned? But then one by one, then they got eliminated. Not Bayley, oh, she won it. I was curious with Kairi Sane. I wasn't sure if her elimination was actually meant to happen or if it was a botch, because usually, like you see with Kofi in the Rumbles, where he makes this magnificent save and avoids getting eliminated and then works his way back in the ring, whenever she went over the ropes and then sort of locked her feet to the ring apron and was like holding on, and then Asuka was trying to pull her back in, I thought she was trying to get back in the ring, and then it looked at the last second as if like the balance on her legs went and like hit the floor, and the referee's like, nope, we gotta go. So I wasn't sure if that was actually meant to happen or if it was a botch and they're just like, no, just it's happened, you have to go. Because then Asuka went out and Bayley was like shouting, saying, what the hell happened? But I thought it was well worked. Jade Cargill made her official event debut and she looked great, in the ring. So she took out Nia and then threw her lifted her up and threw her the ring. Even Becky was standing there like. So I'm curious what they're going to do, if they're going to have something with Jade and Nia, or if they're going to go a different direction. Poor Chelsea Green. Oh dear God, she got flipping battered in the ring. She got hit by Piper, and then she got sandwiched between Piper and Nia, and then she ended up in the corner, and was it Nia slammed Piper in there. I was just watching, I was like, oh dear God. I was like, somebody get her out of the ring. She's just been getting flipping flattened. But overall, yeah, it was a good match, and I'm glad Bayley won. I think it's something Bayley deserves. Obviously, during the lockdown, I think her character really developed well with the heel persona, especially when she was in the tag team with Sasha, and she had the ongoing banter with Michael Cole, even though it was an empty arena. She really carried the shows during the lockdown period, and she was brilliant as a champion. So I'm glad to see her win the Rumble. I'm curious now to see if she will challenge Rhea, or if she's going to stay on SmackDown and sort of do a Batista, the Evolution, where she's she looks as if she's going to sign to go with Raw and face Rhea, but then she turns around and chooses to face Io Sky at WrestleMania instead. What I would say is though is that I hope they don't turn her face, because it's like Rhea Ripley and even Dominic Mysterio, she is great as a heel. Yes, she was great as a face in NXT, but when she came up to the main roster, if you remember, she didn't really connect well with the fan base, and even whenever that time she picked up the injury, like the crowds were booing her, even the fact she was even saying, why are you booing, but whenever she turned heel, she did a great job, and I'd hate to see her go back to face, because she does such a great job. So I'm curious to see what she does, or maybe they could have Io Sky turn face. If Bayley decides to select her to face, and then attacks her, and then it turns Io baby face. But we'll see with that. So the men's rumble, it was good. Again, we had some surprising returns. We got the Jimmy and Jay starting off the match, which a few people predicted maybe they'll have the Usos start off the match, or at some point one of them will be standing in the ring and the other will come out. So they start off the match with Jay, and then Jimmy come out. And Jimmy was hilarious the whole night. I mean, every time somebody new came into the ring, Jimmy was trying to high five them, and trying, no yeet, no yeet, and they just end up dropping Jimmy. It's just at one point he even got frustrated and slapped the mat, because every person he tried to link up with, and they just turned on him. He's just like, guess. R-Truth again coming out, and one of the best moments in that match was R-Truth looking for the hot tag from Dominic to get in the ring. I love his segments, just especially now with the Judgment Day, since he is paired with them. It's like Sammy with the bloodline, but it's like whenever Sammy was making the others break character, and like Jay would be trying to hide his face, with them they're not breaking character, but it's like they're at times they're frustrated with him, but then they're actually warming to him. Like was it 1 or 2 weeks ago, like Damian Priest was confronting them about selling Judgment Day merchandise, and then he just like had him like a big thing of cash, and it's like, all right, look, you can carry on, okay, but just keep it low, okay, keep it low. So, but then Damian Priest came out and he cracked him in the mouth and just threw him right out of the blooming ring. So Damian wasn't playing that match. But sad not to see some of the like Finn or JD stay around to the end. It was not a good night for the Irish. Becky got eliminated. Finn got eliminated. JD. Sheamus, I thought Sheamus would have shown up. He didn't even show up. And even in I forgot to mention the women's match, AJ Lee didn't show up. I thought maybe she would show up, but even Sasha, I forgot to say this about the women's match. The final entrant was Liv Morgan returned, and they paused for a moment whenever the countdown hit 0. There was a slight pause, and everybody was like, looking, and then they hit Liv's music, and there was a slight, you can notice from the crowd, there was a slight, there was cheers, but at the same time, it was just like, fuck, because I think they were expecting Sasha, especially since Naomi had returned, they were expecting Sasha to show up as the 30th entrant, and just whenever they did that pause and then hit Liv's music, it was sort of like that, grit your teeth, clap. But Yeah, so in the men's rumble, uh, there was one thing about the men's rumble I didn't like. Was the Pat McAfee spot, and even though I love Pat McAfee on commentary, he was great banter all night. Him and Corey going back and forward, and then even times like he was, Michael Cole was slipping up on his words, and Pat was calling them out. But the the Rumble spot with him entering, I thought was stupid because one, because he didn't even do anything. You know, if he had to got into the match, and then maybe because he can compete, he can be at the WrestleMania, against Austin Theory, so he can compete. So if he had to get in the match and maybe got one elimination, and then got thrown over the ropes as he was celebrating, but the fact that he just got into the ring and then immediately got out, and just it's just a waste of spot. But also because it completely, his non-participation, it completely distracted from a big moment of Braun Breaker eliminating Omos and then getting eliminated by Dominic, because I don't know whether he took too long in the segment, because he got into the ring, then got out, and then hesitated, and then got back into the ring, and then got back out again, and jumped down to the floor. But the camera was focused on him, and then at the same time, the countdown had started for the next entrance. So the fans were sort of caught between looking at Pat and looking to the entrance to see who's coming out next. And in the middle of all that, Braun eliminated Omos, and then Dom eliminated Thing, but you completely missed it because of all that happening. So I think, I do think it was it was a stupid spot to have. Whether I've seen I've seen a few theories about that was supposed to be maybe Brock Lesnar, and because of all the issues that are happening outside the ring with WWE, with Vince McMahon and everything, and thing that his appearance was either cancelled or just never took place, and they needed somebody. But even then, you've got other people on the roster that could have filled in. You've got Pete Dunne, Dragon Lee, Solo. I was expecting Solo to appear in the Rumble, and one of them could have come in and taken the spot instead. But I just thought, because it took so long for Pat to get in the ring, and then basically just wasted the spot, and by the time he was finished doing that and there was another entrant coming down the ring, it completely just missed all the action that was happening in the match. But overall, it was a good match, and you came down to the final three of Gunther, Cody, and Punk, and as soon as Gunther went out, I was like, right, okay, so where are we going with this? Where are we going? And what was great about the finish was the finish to the match, not the elimination. The finish to the match was, the fans didn't know who to root for. Like, when Punk was about to throw Cody out, the fans were gasping. When Cody had Punk on the ropes, the fans were gasping. So it was like, we don't want either one to lose. We want Cody to go the WrestleMania, but Punk's back. We want Punk to win. It's his first time back at the Royal Rumble in 10 years. So it was just back and forward, and you didn't know what was going to happen. But I think ultimately, and I even have seen a lot of people say this online, as soon as Punk said, shout out, I'm not losing to Dusty's kid. That was it. You knew then that he wasn't going to win, because I think Cody turned around or countered and said, I'm not just his kid, or I'm not Dusty's kid this time, and threw him out of the ring. So it was good to see Cody win. I think did Michael Cole say it was the first back-to-back Rumble win in a quarter of a century. So it was a good match. Like I said, the only thing I disliked about the match was the Pat McAfee spot, because Braun was doing great in the match whenever he came in, and then it just, what would have been, a big spot for him, because Omos was just eliminating people, and they even mentioned, last time it took about 6 people to throw Omos over the top rope. So the fact that just Braun, throwing Omos out of the ring by himself, but it was completely missed because of all that. But yeah, like I said, it was a good finish, and Cody, pointing the sign, and then turn around and pointing to Roman, and Roman has Roman has the best facial expressions whenever he's shocked. Like, if whether it's like somebody making an appearance at the end of a match, or if somebody says something that he doesn't like, he just always has this. And it's just this great face, because as soon as Cody pointed to him, he just has this shocked look, and then Paul Heyman, who is he definitely belongs in the Hall of Fame very freaking soon, because he is one of the best on the mic. Not just as a manager, but the best on the mic. And I just, the way he's like shaking, holding, handing the title to Roman, and he's just like, my tribal chief, and Roman's just like trying to look, he's like shocked, but at the same time he's like, and it's the first time I've seen that where they've actually had the 2 champions actually sat watching the Rumble, because like Rollins, he was enjoying it, and I think even like whenever Cody won, I don't know where he was happy that Cody won or the Punk didn't win. So, as it stands, Cody is going to Mania, and he's going to face Roman, is what we expect. What they have planned between now and Mania, we'll have to see. If The Rock does feature, or if it was just a simple tease as a way to throw people off of Cody winning the Rumble, or if The Rock is, because I think the rumor was The Rock is either advertised for Elimination Chamber in Australia, or the people in Australia wanted The Rock, or it was part of the deal, or I don't know, or maybe now because he's part of the TKO board, or the company merger, that might mean that he's not going to be competing. But that's that side of it. What they do with the world title, I don't know what way they're going to plan that, because if Seth's legitimately hurt, then what do you do then? Because it's if he's hurt to the point where it's not major serious and he can compete in the match, alright. But if it's the point where, like Cody, when he tore his pec, because that match, like, I couldn't even, that match between Cody and Seth, I couldn't enjoy it, because as soon as Cody, like, took his jacket off and revealed, like, his chest that time, I just wanted the match stopped or over as soon as possible. Just get Cody out of the freaking ring, get him, you know, mended and get him rehabbed. But same with Seth, like, if Seth is majorly hurt, I don't want him, or WWE trying to push, because it's WrestleMania and you don't want to miss, competing in WrestleMania as a champion, but at the same time, you don't want, if you have a legitimate injury, you don't want to risk more serious damage, which could result, in, you could be out for longer, or it could be a serious effect to the rest of your career. So, like I said, if it's something that he can manage, and they can actually check him over and say, right, look, you can actually compete, you're fine to compete, then let's see what happens, whether it's Rollins versus Punk, or they do something where it's like a triple threat or something, so that maybe Rollins doesn't have to do too much in the match and the others can, do more of the big spots. But we'll have to see what happens. But I think I've definitely, from the way the Rumble finished, I think something is going to happen with Punk, Drew, and possibly Sammy, because Sammy, Zayn obviously returned after getting taken out by Drew, and then Drew eliminated Sammy. Drew and Punk had their sort of face off in the ring on the mic, and then Punk eliminated McIntyre from the Rumble, and McIntyre looked like he wanted to flip and strangle him there and then. So I'd be very surprised if, especially on like Raw on Monday, that Drew doesn't confront Punk or attack Punk or something happens. So I'm curious what they do for Elimination Chamber now. Do they have a chamber match to name a number one contender for Rollins' title? Do they have Rollins compete in the chamber match defending the title, and if he can't compete at Mania, they have him eliminated early, so he's out of the match. There's going to be a guaranteed new champion, and what happens are, again, you've got Damien with the briefcase, and I don't know what the hell they're going to do with that, because at the moment there doesn't look like an ideal time for him to cash in. Like, I would like to think they're going to do a successful cash in, because they had Otis win and wasted it, and they had Baron. Otis lost the briefcase to Miz, but he initially won the match. Baron Corbin won Money in the Bank, and he wasted it. So I would hope at this point, if they are going to have Priest cash in, that he actually is a successful cash in. So when do you do that? Do you have... It all depends on what the plan is with Rollins. Like, at the moment, even though Rollins says, I'm going to do what I can to, be at WrestleMania, that's not really a definitive answer on, are we guaranteed? Is it locked in? Rollins defending the title at WrestleMania, or is something going to happen in between? So it's going to be very curious how it's planned out between now and Mania, and what happens in Elimination Chamber. But so let's say Elimination Chamber is going to be very interesting, because you don't know whether they're going to do something with Rollins, and at the same time, you don't know what they're going to do with Roman and The Rock, if he is scheduled for Australia, or maybe he's just there to confront Roman and something, and they say, look, I mean, it could happen like something like that, where he confronts Roman and then says, whatever happens at Mania between you and Cody, win or lose, you and I are going to face off down the line, and then going to be about titles, then going to be about it's going to be about, family. I sound like Dom Toretto. It's going to be about family, the head of the table, and about the bloodline. So we'll have to see what happens there. But anyway, yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. And look, we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw and what happens on SmackDown. I don't think we're going to get obviously Cody's initially made his choice. I don't think we're going to get Bayley's decision too soon. The plan is for her to jump the Raw and face Rhea, but it does feel like they're building towards a breakup in the Damage Control, or a separation, and what happens there. But we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, drop a comment below what your thoughts are of the event, and what your thoughts are on the build up to Mania. What way do you think they're going to do it? What way it's going to go with both titles? What do you think is going to happen with Rollins, and what do you think is going to happen with Roman? Is Roman, if they do Roman Cody 2, is Roman going to lose this time, or do they have it in the back of their minds that, look, Roman's already surpassed all these previous champions' records. What's another, 7-8 months? Because, I mean, he doesn't show up that much anyway, so what are you looking at there? Say, if Roman did successfully win at WrestleMania, what do you think? Does Backlash, and then is away. Maybe does Money in the Bank, or I think, isn't there, did they bring back Night of Champions, or the Clash of Champions, whatever that was, or was that NXT? But for that, and then it would be maybe SummerSlam. But I don't think they could do it, because I don't think the fan base could fucking stand it. So what else has way? But let me know. Anyway, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It'd be very much appreciated. And looking forward to seeing what WWE has in store for the road to WrestleMania. We're in WrestleMania season now, so let's see what they got doing for us. Obviously, there were a lot of issues outside the ring, Jesus. But at the moment, Triple H is in the driving seat. Let him work, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if there's any more, surprises around the door. Come of the WrestleMania, could we have other people return, or other appearances? I mean, one of the biggest returns in WrestleMania was the Hardys, when they appeared at WrestleMania in that tag match. So who knows who else could show up between now and then. There was a rumor that Gunther versus Lesnar was a possible plan for WrestleMania, but at the moment with the issues outside the ring, I don't think Lesnar's going to be involved at all. So what are they going to do with Gunther? You know, at what point is he going to drop his title, and where does he go from there? So anyway, just let me know and take care, and I'll see you again.